While we continue to wait for more information on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we've all been wondering and speculating about what this game could have in store for us. Well, today, in order to have some fun and pass the time, I've got 3 mini-theories about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to share with you that could possibly explain what we might be able to expect from these games as more info is released. These theories are ones that have been discussed by multiple people online, combined with my own personal additions to them, so I can't exactly take full credit here, as these are more so theories that the community at large have come up with. Nevertheless though, they do present some very interesting possibilities, so without further ado, let's check it out. So the reason why I'm even able to talk about these kinds of things in the first place is thanks to your guys' support. So first of all, thank you. But if you do like what I do here, consider supporting the channel further by listening to my Pokemon remixes on Spotify and other streaming services. Literally just listening to my music on these streaming platforms makes a huge difference in helping me to bring the best possible content to you guys right back here on YouTube. And I mean, it's Pokemon music, so it's truly a great and super easy way to help me keep making videos for you guys. So consider checking that out if you haven't already, and if you are already listening, thank you so much for the support. With that said though, let's get into some theories. This first one is one that I really like the idea of because not only does it make a ton of sense, but it also would bode very well for Scarlet and Violet and their gameplay, so I really hope it turns out to be the case. The general idea for this, if I'm not mistaken, came from the folks over at GAMEXPLAIN, so shout out to them, and it has to do with the apparent school system that is going to be present in the games. With the player characters dressed up in school uniforms and emblems being found within the reveal trailer that seem to tie into that school concept, it very much seems to be the case that we as the player are going to be attending some type of school. It will most likely be a Pokemon-focused school a la the trainer schools that we've seen in past games, and there's also a good chance that this is how we end up receiving our starter Pokemon. But the central idea around this theory in particular is that the school concept with us as students could be a very intentional angle that Game Freak is taking in these games as a way to retain the gameplay elements that we saw introduced in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus was obviously universally beloved and was a huge step forward for the series, so it only makes sense that Scarlet and Violet would continue in that direction, and Legends' influence can even be seen already in the overall look of the game and its open world setting. However, many have wondered how, if at all, that would be accomplished considering the more traditional nature of Scarlet and Violet compared to Legends and the obvious modern day setting compared to Legends' more primitive setting. That has made it somewhat difficult to imagine how the gameplay elements of Legends could be translated over, but that could very possibly be why the school element is present in the first place. By making the player a student in a school, the game could have you doing things like researching or studying Pokemon in much the same way we did in Legends, and therefore could allow the same gameplay elements to exist just within a context that makes more sense within the modern day setting. This idea could really allow pretty much all of the great things about Legends Arceus to be brought over to Scarlet and Violet, and would also be a really fresh approach to a traditional main series Pokemon game at the same time. So I personally really hope that this, or something close to this, actually ends up happening. The next theory I have to discuss concerns the possible themes of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. All Pokemon games have a central set of ideas that they revolve around, and there have been many ideas about what the possible themes of the Gen 9 games could be. One of the most intriguing ideas, though, and also one of the most plausible in my opinion, is a past and future theme, or a past and present theme. The evidence for this comes from multiple places, including the logos for the games themselves, using fonts and patterns that are very much in line with this idea. The styling of the word Scarlet, for instance, in Pokemon Scarlet's logo, has it looking very regal and historic, as if it could be representing the past. But in contrast, the styling of the word Violet in Violet's logo has it looking very sleek and modern, as if it could be representing the present or possibly even the future. There is also circumstantial evidence present that points in the direction of possible time travel, such as a clock spinning in all directions within the reveal trailer, and the presence and confirmation of Hisuian forms in these games, which, due to being past forms of Pokemon, had to have got into the present day in some special type of way. Finally, there's also the names of the games themselves, which of course come from colors, and in particular, the colors of the flag of Spain, which is the basis for the new region in these games. Pokemon Violet is what makes this really interesting though, as this game and its titular color most likely comes from this older iteration of Spain's official flag, which was used in the past and obviously features a violet-colored stripe. Meanwhile, the present-day Spanish flag features a scarlet-colored stripe where that violet stripe once was, which overall is another great point in favor of this past versus present idea. Granted, it is kind of funny that Violet is using the past color, but also the more modern-looking font in its logo, but overall, this idea does make a lot of sense, and I think it would be a fantastic theme for these games to have that could offer a ton of potential. Finally, the last theory I have to discuss in this video also concerns these colors, and the idea that they come from the various flags of Spain. While Spain's flags have featured scarlet stripes and violet stripes, they also feature a third golden stripe as well, and many people have speculated that maybe this third color could represent a future third version of these games. Since Game Freak have kind of been all over the place with their enhanced versions lately, it is hard to say whether or not this will actually happen though, but it does make all the sense in the world based on this evidence, and with these games returning to a color-based format with their names, having a third yellow-colored version would be a nice callback to Pokemon Yellow, who was also a third game for the original set of Pokemon titles that were also named after colors. Looking at what this game could possibly be called if it did actually happen, I think Pokemon Amber sounds pretty cool, and the amber color in particular also aligns perfectly with the shade of yellow in the Spanish flag. And while it's already the name of a city in Pokemon, I think Pokemon Saffron also sounds cool, and saffron is also a shade of yellow that fits well too. Regardless if any of that ended up coming to fruition though, it is most likely the case that there will be a third legendary Pokemon to go along with the two legendaries that will most likely represent Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And while those two will most likely be themed around the colors of the games they represent, we could also see a third legendary, possibly a trio master of the other two, with a yellow color theme. Furthermore, going back to the idea of the possible past versus present idea, these legendaries could possibly carry that theme too, with one of them representing the past, one representing the present, and the third yellow legendary possibly representing the future. All of this sounds fantastic to me if I'm being completely honest, and the evidence is also there to support it, so I really hope it happens. But, of course, it is still very much up in the air at the same time, so ultimately, we're just gonna have to wait and see what these games truly have in store for us. So those were just a few theories that present some exciting possibilities for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But what do you think about these ideas? Let me know in the comments below, leave the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new for more new Pokemon content all the time. With that said, I'll be back with another video very soon, and until then, as always, thank you guys so much for watching this one, I love you all very much, and I will smell you guys later.